So the beef between Monique and DL Hughley is far from over. The two have taken to social media posting their own receipts about who should have been the headliner of this recent comedy show where Monique blasted DL for over 10 minutes during her set. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. I hope you all had a fantastic holiday weekend, and I'm sure you probably may have missed out on all of what went on over the weekend. So if you did, I'll post a link to the original video that I did on the story between Monique and DL. But a quick update. So Monique is claiming that she was supposed to be the headliner. She was frustrated because of behind the scenes issues, and she went on stage and went in on DL. All kinds of stuff. And if you've been to a Monique show, then you know there were all kinds of cuss words and N words that were used. Since then, DL went on his social media to post his own receipts. He did respond to Monique, and we talked about that response in my last video, but now he's responding even more with his own, quote, deal memo, his own contract as his receipt, captioning the contract saying this: "After this, I don't want to hear no mo about this." Here it is in black and white. The only thing blacked out is personal and bank information. Pay attention to, quote, headliner, highest paid artist on the show, artist to have approval of lineup of the show, DL Hughley, closing, receipts greater than opinions. I got everything that was stated in my contract, everything. But let's say I didn't. My beef wouldn't be with anyone but the promoter and or my team, and I damn sure wouldn't make it personal. If you have a problem, take it up with your management, i.e. your husband. And by that, I mean yours. Damn. And then he tells us his full name. I mean, we could have Googled his full name. So DL, as you know, if you were watching Monique's 10-minute rant about DL, she alluded that it meant down low, as opposed to his real government name, Daryl Lynn Hughley. Now I understand why he uses DL. So before DL even posted his contract, the reason why he posted his contract was because Monique responded to him in his own comments saying, "The fact that you point to the people, to the ticket stubs for the order of the names versus your contract implies that you don't have a contract that shows that you are the headliner like I do. Either show your contract or be quiet. Stop messing with people who have never messed with you and who once considered you a comrade in comedy. But I thank you, DL, because you're the reason why I fight for my people like I do. Anytime you open for the Kings of Comedy and I was the headliner for the Queens of Comedy, and you think you should close the show over me, is a prime example of the bias that black women have to deal with in this business. I won't even discuss awards. I love us for real." So that was the reason why DL posted his deal memo, aka contract. But luckily, before I did this video, I said, let me just see if there was any sort of update since the last time I read the story last night. And there was. Monique decided to post her contract after DL posted his deal memo. And the reason why I keep calling it a deal memo versus a contract, because this is what Monique says. Monique posts her own contract along with an exchange, emails and text messages between her and I guess the organizers and promoters of this event. And she captions it with, "There are some of you," first of all, she tags DL Hughley. She says, "There are some of you who were fooled by the smoke and mirrors of DL posting his deal memo versus his performance agreement. Here is my performance agreement, and here are emails and texts confirming that, as per usual, I'm going to always keep it real and honest with my people. If you notice, mine has signatures and DL's does not. What type of ironclad agreement doesn't have signatures of the participants involved? Apparently, DL's, laughing out loud. Now you told me to check with my management, and this is what I came up with. So how did I do? Perhaps you should have taken your own advice, because I'm sure your team would have advised you against trying to pass a deal memo off as a contract." To those there who thought a deal memo was the same as a performance agreement, especially some of the comedians, this is how we're constantly taken advantage of in the business. And just so you know, the promoter already told my team before the show that you didn't have a signed agreement. And I kind of believe her here because she literally says this in her clap back to him originally. And that's why I'm not surprised that you're using a deal memo. That said, maybe they lied and you actually have a contract. If so, the promoters have put themselves in a terrible position to have more legal action taken against them. Beyond malicious concealment for breaking the contract at the last second, that said, DL, we the people will be waiting for your signed agreement. So I'm sure you're wondering, did DL respond? He did. And he responded by having this video version of Monique's contract, and he's zooming in on what the contract is saying. So he captions this video and says, man, Hicks Media Incorporated, hold up. That's you? You really showing everyone a contract you submitted from your own company? I smell BS. And I wouldn't pick it up with the old ass birth certificate paper it was written on. Stop the cap. Again, my contract, headliner check, highest paid artist on the show check, artist to have approval of the lineup check, lineup of the show, DL Hughley closing check. It wouldn't surprise me though if DL was the highest paid and would have this sort of thing in his contract. Because when you think about their careers, and I'm not talking about who has more success, I'm just talking about who has not been sort of blacklisted. He hasn't really been blacklisted the way that Monique has. So when it comes to who has more influence in these sort of contract deals, I would say it would be DL. However, all that being said, I feel like, as DL said, Monique, you're fighting with the wrong person here. This really has nothing to do with DL and you. This has more to do with the promoters and the fact that these promoters are having these two greats fight against each other. That's the sad part to me. And these two grown folks have taken it to social media. But as all of you are going to say in the comments, she took it to the stage first, which made it come to social media. Then there's that. And if there's contract issues, Monique, I understand. However, your issues right now aren't really with DL. It's with whoever negotiated this deal, and it's with the promoters. It's not with DL. DL's just another comedian on this performance. If there was something that was misconstrued to you, that wasn't from DL. It wasn't like DL and you had the conversation. It wasn't like DL was the one who promoted this event. This is sad, but I had to give you an update because I didn't realize how much has transpired on social media. I thought you guys were barbecuing and eating. What the hell y'all doing on social media? Acting a fool. These greats acting a fool. Guys, I want to know your thoughts because you had a lot of thoughts in our original video when it came to this whole situation. Who do you think is actually correct here? Or do you agree with me that this really has more to do with the promoters than it has to do with DL and Monique? And hopefully they can squash this offline. Let's continue the conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.